Okay, thank you very much for reminding me for that there is no voice. I believe we have voice now. Great and wonderful people, great people of Africa, I greet you, I salute you according to your place of domicile. You are welcome to this program. While you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join wherever you are watching from. Are you watching on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa? Click the like button. Are you watching on Facebook at Judge Money Blog, at Judge Money Official, or Judge Money /TV? Click the like button, share the video, invite others to join. Are you watching us from Twitter? Retweet the video, share the video, invite others to join. We are here and we are back again. My apologies for that interruption. We are back again to continue where we stopped yesterday, as we must proceed. We must continue to preach the gospel of emancipation, gospel for freedom. We will continue to preach them. So it is very, very important that we continue to get ourselves and our people ready for new Africa, getting our people ready for Africa that is free of corruption, Africa that is free of exploitation, Africa that is going to actually manage their resources, not Africa that is going to use European languages in their curriculum and make it a mandatory in their curriculum, while science and technology will become optional. So it is not the Africa this generation is looking for. We are looking for that Africa where our languages will be, the first choice, and the science and technology will be mandatory. That before you will, anybody who is going to schools will do science and technology, and languages will be a necessity in the curriculum. Not the European language, not Chinese language, not anybody's language, but your mother tongue. We want an Africa where we are going to be writing our physics and chemistry, our biology in our mother tongue. This is the type of Africa we are trying to get to. Of course, we are here to continuously preach the gospel, because one day we believe it will sink in the mind of these political leaders who have made themselves a stooge for this neo-colonialist. They've become the willing tool for the neo-colonialist to use to truncate every effort made by ordinary people on the ground for economic emancipation, mind emancipation, and for people to be free. Total liberation of Africa and radical economic change in Africa. And we know that as we continue to preach this gospel, if the leaders in Africa is not going to wake up, the people of Africa are going to wake up. And it is going to be very important and necessary for the leaders to wake up before the people. Because if the people wake up first before the leaders, it means that there will be a manhunt. It means there will be a coup. It means there will be many things that is going to take place. But we are praying that our leaders wake up before our people will wake up, so that our leaders will pave way for our people who will support them. Because if our leaders are actually, conscious of what they are doing, if our leaders are actually, awoken from their slumber, believe you me, we will not be here preaching this type of, preaching. We might be here doing something else or having fun, because it is necessary for our leaders to wake up from their slumber. It is very, very necessary for our leaders to make sure that they bring about the change that, Africa need. Because if it goes to the hands of the people to wake up, there will be violence, there will be bloodshed, there will be everything That is the reason why we are calling African leaders to make sure they wake up first before the people. Just like it is happening in Niger Republic today. Anything that is a challenge, I know that so many African leaders are not aware of how they will be able to, take a first step to the journey of 1,000 miles, because they are seeing it as a journey of 1 million miles, because they want to secure the bag for the family only. That is the mind of an African person. You secure it for the family. Forget every other person. We are actually trying to remove the initiative or the mindset of if you can't beat them, you join them. We want leaders in Africa, leaders that will be able to communicate the challenges that they are seeing in the leadership position where they are. Communicate that challenges that people will know how to actually help. Not you will go and be dining with the neo-colonialists, and everything you are doing, it is going to work in the favor of this neo-colonialist, and you will one day, you will not expect the sleeping dog to wake up, which is the ordinary people that you've been starving over the years. One day they are going to wake up, and it is going to be chaotic. So that is the reason why we are advising every African leaders to try and wake up before the people. So, that is a preamble. Let us actually look into what we are going to talk about today. Look at these images that is right in front of you. These images, when you see, you will see a boat. This is a boat that is, this boat is a boat that is coming out of, that is actually found in Mediterranean Sea, where people are trying to use such boat to cross to Europe. In this boat, you see how it is parked. And after this boat, you will know that many people that are in this boat, you might find out that the 25% of them are Nigerians. 25% of them are coming out of giant of Africa, migrating to Europe. What is the chase? What is chasing them to Europe? And you will see that 60% of them, or if not 70% of them, are people from the ECOWAS region, rather, that are parked in that boat. Many of them died, and many of them are dying on a daily basis. So we're going to be talking about that boat that is actually transporting people, from Tunisia to Europe. And on the other hand, you have seen there is, a twist of fate in Niger Republic as 17 troops killed in new Niger attack. 17 troops killed. But what is actually, surprising is that these people were killed and the ECOWAS came and condemned it. Is that not ironic? ECOWAS was condemning the attack on Niger troops. Is that not ironic? And on the other hand is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is a political activist, who is a freedom fighter, who is languishing in a solitary confinement today just because Are we still coming out? Yes. Just because he refused to join force with the politicians to do economic exploitation and marginalization on the people. That is the reason why Nigeria moves swiftly, because he is exposing every calamities. He was exposing every crime that is being committed by Britain, that is being committed by Nigerian, that is being committed against ordinary people on the ground. That is the reason why this man you see here is now being kept in a solitary confinement in DSS dungeon in Nigeria. He was kidnapped. An extraordinary rendition to Nigeria after the Britain, under the leadership of Boris Johnson, actually made sure they sabotage his security details, that he was captured and tortured for 8 days in a non-state apartment, and after that they renditioned him to Nigeria. And after renditioning him to Nigeria, this is where he found himself, in a solitary confinement. And not only that he found himself in a solitary confinement, the worst case scenario, the worst part of this incident is that at the end he defeated Nigeria and Britain in the court of Nigeria, which stated that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a free man and cannot be tried in any court in Nigeria because there was a terrorist act that was meted against him. So, upon that, Nigeria decided that they will not adhere to their court order. That the man next to him, you see that is next to him there, he was Attorney General of the Nigeria Federation, who used his position as Attorney General to overrule the appeal court decision, which declared Mazen Nnamdi Kanu a free man, discharged and acquitted. And they said that there is no court in Nigeria that will stand to try him, because they have no jurisdiction to try him, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned from Kenya. He went to Kenya as a tourist. He went to Kenya and he was renditioned, which technically still he is still in Kenya. Therefore, Nigeria does not have jurisdiction to try him in Nigeria. Of course, we know very well that Nigeria does not obey their, they don't obey human rights law. Nigeria does not actually understand what jurisdiction means, because that is the reason why when they capture somebody, they take them away from their jurisdiction. They travel them maybe 500 kilometers away from where they were captured, even though there is a police station that is there where they're supposed to report that person. They will fly them. That is called a kidnapping. They do kidnapping on ordinary innocent people because they have nobody to speak on their behalf. So having seen Attorney General who overruled the court order, the court verdict given to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the October 13, 2022, and they held him in a solitary confinement still up until this day. Look at it, it is also getting to another 1 year when court of a competent jurisdiction, appeal court, set him free. The same man, like we talked about yesterday, who ordered the stay of execution, the same man is charged with corruption, is actually charged with corruption by looting Nigeria fund, selling crude oil without remitting the money, and other corruption charges that he is facing. This was the same man whom they noticed the corruption charges against him. They did not ask him to step aside so that he will not actually interfere with the evidence and the witnesses, but they left him in the position which he used, the position where he occupied, and maneuver everything. Today they are looking for evidence to nail him. Is that not ironic? Is that a way a nation is run? You allowed him to finish the tenure and you are looking for evidence to nail him. Now, on the other hand, you will see Emmanuel Macron, the French president, who is the cause of all this problem. You see in Francophone countries, in the area of that ECOWAS, which resulted to many coups in that area because of this man who is sitting on top of a bank of gold which you, of course, if you look into their country, you will never see a gold mine in their country. You will never see their land being, destroyed in the name of mining gold. And at the end of the day, he has one of the highest reserve of gold. Where does he get it from? He stole it from Africa. And now, you will now contextualize all this stealing and exploitation from African resources while African children and African parents are using boat crossing Mediterranean Sea. And on the next to the Emmanuel Macron you see here, you will see what is written there. It is an image of Nigerians, 1,200 Nigerians who died in Sahara Desert and the Mediterranean Sea in 2023 alone. In 2023 alone. So we are going to be touching on all those things that you find here. If we cannot finish them in the next 2 hours, we will continue tomorrow where we stopped. But this gospel must be preached for our people to understand where their problem is coming from. Just like you will see in our topic there, the attack on the Niger troops that took place. The attack on the Niger troops that took place. And the people dying in Mediterranean Sea that are coming from within ECOWAS region and Francophone countries, that France is to be blamed. Because economic exploitation that is done against these people, it was done by France. And Britain as well, to be blamed in Nigeria. Because if you see the amount of the people who are leaving Nigeria looking for a way to get to Europe, where they will seek for a greener pasture, and they will end up dying on the way even before getting to the Europe. So, when you look at it, you will see that Europeans have moral value or moral, stance to condemn these people that are crossing Mediterranean Sea. Do they have a moral ground to say that they are going to control the influx of these people that are crossing in through Mediterranean Sea, through Sahara Desert to Europe? Do they have the moral ground? No, they do not have, because they are the reason why these people are crossing Mediterranean Sea, Sahara Desert, just to get to Europe, because of the economic sabotage they have done in their own country, that nobody is included in the economy. Nobody, there is no means of survival in the country where they are running from. There is police brutality. They cannot even do their things like a free people. They are treated like animals. They are over-policed. They are manhandled. They are ill-treated. You cannot even have freedom of speech. They do not have freedom of association. They do not have freedom to exercise their right of self-determination. They do not have freedom to civil disobedience. They do not have such freedom. So they are looking for where they will actually get this freedom. And it is part of the structure that we are fighting to destroy in Africa, that is making our government to see themselves as a supreme and omnipotent, that they will not adhere to the people who elected them into the position of leadership, and they say democracy is the best. Yet our people are dying in the name of democracy. Yet our people's right is being toppled upon in the name of democracy. So if you look at exactly what is going on in and around Nigeria, around this Africa, mostly the ECOWAS region, before we actually extend it to the east, you will understand the excess of the West in those areas is causing a lot of damages. Is making people die young. Is making people die before their time. The West is being enriched. Our people who are actually given this cheap labor to mine those resources for the sake of the same West they will not be paid correctly. The only thing that they will receive is peanut, to the extent that some of them will say, no, we are not doing it anymore. Let us find a way, instead of sitting here dying for nothing, let us die while we are on a move to go for, to seek for a greener pasture. That's why many of them die in a Sahara desert, in Mediterranean Sea, where you will see that boat parked. During the time of that submersible that took place in, I believe, in the those who went to see Titanic wreckage. During that time, do you know how long they spent day and night searching for these 5 people? But in Mediterranean Sea, in that same time, there was a boat that capsized. More than 400 people were drowned in that time. No one looked for them. They were not looked for. The same type of boat that you are seeing when you tune in into this program on top. This is the same type of boat that capsized. But those 5 people, their life matters more than the hundreds of African children. Of course, these African children are trying to migrate because of the economic sabotage done on them, done against them, and now when they die, no one is being held to account. And now they will be policed, because there is nothing that will stop them from migrating. They have no hope in the country where they found and called their own country. So some of them make peace with death. They will say, I rather go out there trying to reach. It's either I reach there or I die. One thing must actually occur. So they will decide, even if you place a border there, they will not mind to bring it down. That is the reason why you see people in Morocco being manhandled, being treated like animal in the video that made wave in social media last year. These are the same people who are dying in Mediterranean Sea and Sahara Desert, being treated like nobody. Europe is crying about the influx of these migrants, but Europe is not trying to correct the real root cause of all this problem that is making this migrant die in Mediterranean Sea. Those who make it will go into their country for refuge, because they know they have the key to the root cause of this problem, and they know that they can stop the root cause of this problem, but they are in denial of it. And that is the reason why I am saying the Europeans who are there watching their elite exploiting Africa, that the African children are actually going out there to die because of the economic sabotage and their excesses in African resources and African economy, which make African children to decide that they will die fighting for their survival instead of sitting in the country and dying like nobody. So, if you are not going to lend your voice as European, who is on the benefiting side of this, your elite exploitation on Africa, who are still benefiting from Berlin Conference Agreement today, you are going to, by the time the revolution that is going to come, by the time God will turn against you people, no one will pity you, because you never pitied African people who are suffering as a result of what your elite are doing in our various nations. By the time what will come out onto you people, no one is going to pity you. You people are going to actually pay for all these things your elite are doing, because you did not lend your voice to condemn it. You are enjoying it. After all, they told you, as you are growing up, they told you black people are monkeys. So you don't feel them dying. What goes around will always come around. France is enriched with gold. France is enriched with uranium. France is enriched with oil. France is enriched with every resources today. And they don't have it naturally coming out from their ground. They stole them. Likewise, Britain. Likewise, United States. They stole all these things. And their people, it will not rise up to challenge, to ask them, when are you going to free Africa? Hands off Africa. Yet they will come out and be hypocritical. Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, why not the black life of those dying in Mediterranean Sea? If Black Lives Matter, you should call your elite to hands off African resources so that Africa will use their resources to make a better countries in Africa. So that our people will stop running helter-skelter, trying to go to where our resources and our free labor has built. It is very, very necessary that our leader wake up before the people. Because the rain that is raging, if that rain fall, everybody is going to regret it. If the rain that is raging, if it falls, everybody is going to regret it. It is actually the algorithm. It is not me speaking it. From the look of things, you will understand that exactly what I am saying. It is something that is about to take place. So if the leaders wake up before the people, they will do the right thing that might assuage the rain from falling. But if they decide not to wake up and decide to play games with the people, when the rain falls, the rain will touch them first before any other thing. Now let us go to the news about this Mediterranean Sea. I want to bring the news of the Mediterranean Sea before we go to Niger Republic and how they are dying. The soldiers are being killed and how hypocritical ECOWAS decided to stay. They condemn the killing of Niger soldiers. First of all, let us read the death of Nigerians in Sahara Desert. Any president that comes up in Nigeria, they will not try to address the death of their people in Sahara Desert and the Mediterranean Sea. But they will want to solve democracy issue in Niger Republic. Listen, let us read. Maybe let me bring it in front of the screen. I hope you are going to read with me. 1,200 Nigerians die in Sahara Desert, Mediterranean Sea in 2023. IOM, International Organization for Migration, has said at least 1,200 Nigerians One moment. Now, 1,200 Nigerians have died while trying to migrate through Sahara. The acting deputy comptroller general of Nigeria Immigration Service, NIS, Kemi Nandap, disclosed this Thursday during the 2023 anti-smuggling of migrant nationwide sensitization and enlightenment campaign at the NIS headquarters in Abuja. Wow. Parents will think that their children are still making their way to Europe. Some of these parents doesn't know that their children are gone. The event was held in commemoration of the 60th anniversary of NIS. The team visited Jabi Park, the federal government, Boys College, Apo, and the Gaki. And the Gaki, is it Gariki? Is it Gaki or Gariki? On Thursday. Nandap, who is in charge of the Directorate of Migration, lamented that many Nigerian youth were losing their lives while trying to seek greener pasture abroad through irregular routes because they do not have money to buy a flight ticket, they do not have connection to get to the embassy, and most of them, when they get to the embassy, the way they will be toiled with, the way they will not be paid attention to, so they will decide that they will do or die affairs in order to get to the, to that Europe in the search for greener pasture. So that you will know, they will talk about it. What have they done about it? The only thing they will do about it, it is to try to militarize the borders in which they are using to cross, so that the military will be the ones to kill them. Remember, militarization of the borders, which these people who are willing to take risks to go through Sahara Desert or Mediterranean Sea. Militarization of the borders, it is actually the same thing as leaving them to go and die in Mediterranean Sea, because they will never take it. They will try to smuggle themselves, whether you militarize the border and shoot to kill. People will still look for greener pasture because they believe that this life they are living, it is not worth living if they cannot find and provide for their own family. Of course, you will bear me witness that most of the people from the sub-Saharan area, it is a patriarchal society. But today you have seen even women are crossing Sahara Desert. Even women are dying in Mediterranean Sea. That is how bad it has become. It is not only men who are trying to fight to protect their family financially. It is now even men and women. So how are they working towards solving this conundrum? They are not trying to solve it. They are trying to create more ways of killing these people before they will even cross. Because they will kill them within the African region. Because immediately when they get to Europe, it's either they actually integrate them and they give them asylum seeking and make them asylum seekers. Because crime is not committed in the open in Europe. The only thing Europeans are good at is systematic crime against Africa. But for them to commit this crime where in the open, like the African people will commit this crime against their own people in the open, it is only in Africa that a dirty deal is done. Just like I told you that Britain did not deal with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Britain, where he is a citizen. They waited until he crossed to Kenya. They use Africa under the regime of Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya. They use that government to apprehend innocent man who is just a political activist. They use him to apprehend him. And at the end of the day, they tortured him. God help him, he did not die. So this is how they are actually dealing with this type of problem. Because these people also know that once they cross and arrive in Europe, that they will not go back. They will not be treated like animals because people are watching. Because there are surveillance. So they want to block them off in Africa and deal with them in Africa, such as Tunisia and maybe Morocco. If it warrant for them to be killed, they will be killed, because the West is funding that project to make sure that they do not cross. It is not because they are dying in the Mediterranean Sea or they are dying in Sahara Desert. It is because the West are tired of the influx of these people, but they are not doing the right thing to stop the influx. They are still, because the right thing, very simple, to stop people's migration, to stop this illegal migration, it is very simple. Hands off Africa. And if any politician bring money they stole to come and hide in Europe, deport them and seize the money. Deport them and seize the money. Make use of it yourself. Don't even give it back. If it is actually what is going to make people to keep their money in the country. If they steal the money and come to Europe, deport them and seize the money. Let it be the resources that you people use it and replace the economic sabotage you are doing on Africa. Because if you are able to do this, the leaders will go home and the leaders will make their place good. And the leaders will build hospital that they will be attending to, that people will be attending to. They will build a good economy that they know, of course, they are going to be part of. So if you cannot do this thing and stop the economic sabotage and neocolonialism in Africa, so you should continuously expect that you should know, rather, that you people are killing people in Mediterranean Sea. You people are killing people in Sahara Desert. It is you systematically killing these people and the African leaders. That is the reason why when this bloody revolution is going to take place, these African leaders will not be spared. That is very, very something, important stuff they need to actually put at the back of their mind, because they will not be better than these people who are dying on a daily basis. 1,200 only in 2023. 1,200 Nigeria children died in Mediterranean Sea. Let's continue to read. Nadab, who is in charge of the Directorate of Migration, lamented that many Nigerian youth were losing their lives while trying to seek greener pasture abroad through irregular routes. We have a big problem in this country. That is the issue of Japa syndrome. Japa syndrome. They call it Japa syndrome. Japa means to run away. Japa syndrome. We have so many of our youth who are dying in the Sahara, dying in the Mediterranean Sea. They are dying for no cause, she said. Nandab urged Nigeria wishing to Japa to reach out to the immigration desk in all the NIS state command for necessary information. Why don't you do something that will stop them from jabbering? Do something that will stop them from jabbering. Declaring event open. Declaring the event open, the acting controller general of NSI, Urola Adepoju, urged Nigerians wishing to relocate abroad to take a regular route. She gave the advice while declaring open 2023 anti-smuggling of migrant nationwide sanitization and enlightenment campaign of the NIS headquarters in Abuja Thursday commemoration of 60th anniversary. The acting CG said it was pertinent to reduce Nigerians about the ills of irregular migration, adding that Nigeria was losing too many youth on the illegal route. Now, when you ask yourself, who are these youth that is being lost? Who are these youth that is being lost? So when they kill them in the borders of Tunisia and Morocco, they harvest their organ. That is the information I am getting from the comment section. When they kill them from the Just like, of course, because if you militarize this border where they are using to access Mediterranean Sea and Sahara Desert, that is another new, what happens there in those borders. It is Hail Mary. When they kill them in these borders, they harvest their organs. Hi, Africa. Africa. Hi. When it was said, hey, when this rain is going to fall, hey, it is going to be a mighty rain. It is going to be a mighty rain that will spare nobody. It will spare nobody. We are watching. And let me actually see if there is any contingency plan that is reasonably put in place for these people. There is none. There are none. You find some of them going through this balloon. Did you see them crossing a sea using a balloon? Did you see them in front of your screen? They are crossing a sea using a balloon. Aye. God have mercy on our African children. God have mercy on African children. Let me finalize this one. Now you have seen that in Nigeria, they call it Japa syndrome. They call it Japa syndrome in Nigeria. Why is it called Japa syndrome? Because people are actually so addicted to run away. And they call it Japa syndrome. And they have not done anything to make sure that they stop this syndrome from actually, infecting more Nigeria children. How would they have stopped it if they include economic inclusions? By having any economic inclusions, making sure that the youth are empowered. That is one, the only way you can stop this Japa syndrome, they called it. But there has never been an economic empowerment. Rather, there is always intimidation of the youth. There is always demonization of the youth. Just like you will see a checkpoint in Nigeria where youth will be passing. They will tell them to remove their clothes. When this youth remove their clothes, if you have any markings, whether it is actually markings that come out of your culture or anything, they will kill you. They will kill you. If you have any markings or tattoo, the military will kill you. So that is how bad. Do you think that somebody would like to die without doing anything to survive? That is the reason why you see Nigerians, they take the highest risk. They take the highest risk in every means possible for them to survive, because they know very well they are coming from hellfire. How can a police or military see a mark on your body or tattoo on your body and they kill you for that? They believe you are a bandit. That's why you have a mark or tattoo in your body. You are a gangster. That's why you have mark or tattoo in your body. They kill you. But tattoo is a fashion in free world. Tattoo is a fashion in every other nation. In Nigeria, tattoo is a criminality. That is how bad that place is. That is the reason why when you see Nigerians trying to make their way out of that place, you shouldn't actually blame them. You pity them. Because that is how bad Nigeria is. If you like, you investigate what I am telling you. It is the truth. I am not exaggerating. So, upon all these challenges that people in Nigeria are facing, upon all these challenges that people in Nigeria is facing, now guess what? Nigeria is going about looting funds. Let me show you, because yesterday I told you that we are going to show you how a whistleblower was actually treated by Attorney General Malami of Federation. Let me show you. The whistleblower exposed this man who prosecute innocent people, who actually detain people arbitrarily. Let us read. Did you see? Ask Malami about sale of 48 million barrels of crude. Interpol tells reps. Interpol tells rep. This is the man. The one who ordered stay of execution on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, innocent man, who exposed their calamities, who is calling for the better deal for his own people, who is a political activist. He ordered the stay of execution. Now let me read. The head of the National Central Bureau, NCB, of the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol, Garba Baba Umar, says the House of Representatives should direct inquiries over the alleged loss of over $2.4 billion from the illegal sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil. Crude oil export in 2015. Did you see when he stole, when these things was, when they found out about this crime? 2015, the first year of them in the position of power. That is when Buhari administration started corrupting, looting Nigeria to dust. 2015. That's why what we read yesterday told you that he was claiming that Buhari knows about it in 2016. So Buhari is an accomplice to all this criminality. Where is Buhari today? Disappeared to the thin air, because we know that the real Buhari of 2015 died in 2017. And they used an imposter. And that imposter ruled Nigeria for over 4 years. Look at it. For you to understand how bad it has gone in Nigeria, listen up. For you to understand how bad it has gone in Nigeria, did you see in a video flying about telling you that Joe Biden said that the Nigeria president was dead and he was still ruling Nigeria? That was a fake. It was a fake. We don't need any fake video to tell us that Buhari died in 2017. We know that Buhari died in 2017. So that video that they are circulating, because our people need to understand exactly when they are being fooled. That was an artificial intelligence that is being used to create such deep fake. It was a fake. We don't need such thing to convince us that Buhari died in 2017. If Buhari did not die in 2017, where is he today? Because once he got out of office, he promised you he is going to retire in Niger Republic or the border in Daura. Did he not promise you? Immediately he retired to Niger Republic, a coup took place. Oh. And at the end of the day, you are looking at Nigeria to be good tomorrow. When a dead man ruled over Nigeria for 4 years and he retired in another country, immediately after retiring in another country, a coup took place there. Because he was an imposter from Niger Republic. They put him a hyper mask to rule over Nigeria. pay them a lot of money. That is the reason why you cannot even see. That's why they will never allow P2B to go into the position of power. That is the reason why Britain will never allow P2B to smell the position of power. Because they know that P2B might expose these things. P2B might look for that guy who acted Buhari or who played Buhari to go and face charges of impersonation. It is a reasonable charges. So they know that P2B might, he is an Igbo man anyway, Biafran man. So that is the reason why they will never allow him to smell the coffee. Forget this shenanigan taking place in the court. All those things they are doing. Wow. You believe. When the order comes from Chatham House, who is going to lead Nigeria? He comes from Chatham House. Hey. Nigeria is a joke. And when we know all these things, this man, since 2015, he was still Attorney General of Federation. Since 2015 until 2023, where a new government came in and they retired. Now, to the office of the Attorney General of Federation, Abubakar Malami, let's continue to read. He said this when appeared before the House of Hawk Committee investigating the matter. The committee is also probing crude oil export from 2014 to date. The committee was questioning the Interpol boss for going after whistleblowers who exposed the alleged illegal sale of 48 million barrels of Nigeria Bonny Light crude oil to China in 2015, estimated at $2.4 billion after they approached the House to expose the deal. They went after the whistleblower instead of going after the suspect. Umaru said that they were after the whistleblower following a petition from the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation to investigate the activities of some Nigerians and foreign nationals who involved in blackmailing and extortion of government functionaries, using forged documents to gain access to government institutions and to carry out fraudulent activities. Did you see where they have what they tagged the whistleblower? This is what Attorney General Malami, who stay execution on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, this is what he actually tagged the whistleblower. That the whistleblower, they should go after him because he claimed that they are forging. Let me read it again so that for clarity's sake. Umar said they were after the whistleblower following the petition from the Office of the Attorney General of Federation to investigate the activities of some Nigerians and foreign nationals involved in blackmail and extortion of government functionaries, using forged documents to gain access to government institutions to carry out fraudulent activities. That means the whistleblower probably hacked into their database. Maybe there was a breach to the database in order to extract those information. That is the reason why now, or he believed that the whistleblower hacked into his database in order to find out all these criminal activities that is being perpetrated by him, because he believed that nowhere else that this whistleblower will find this information except if the whistleblower hack into them. That's why he said they are forging and blackmailing and extortion and forging documents to gain access to government institutions to carry out fraudulent activities. This is where I am going to leave it. The reason why I started reading this is for you to see how Nigeria deals with corruption of the government entities or government officials. Government officials, this is how Nigeria handled their case. They give them room to be in the position where they are, to use that position to intimidate and even jail people who are there to expose them or kill them. Because the ones that they call whistleblower, they don't know them. That's why they were still alive. Or that's why they were not found in solitary confinement. That is the reason why he gave Interpol ultimatum to investigate those people. To investigate those people as Attorney General of Federation of Nigeria. So, the moral of this exposition is all about that the man who ordered the stay of execution on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is nothing but a criminal suspect. A criminal suspect. And every activities he carried out, both the people he jailed, both the people he used his position to actually, jail and intimidate, those people actually need compensation because he's a criminal. He does that unarbitrarily. He does that because he is in a position to do it. DJ Jackson or the Jackson Kissman says, small boy, we will capture you one day. You are a fool. You are a fool. You are a fool. I will capture one of you in any of these countries where you will go and hide your money. You are a fool. Do you think I am scared of you capturing me and I'm showing you my face? I am not scared of you capturing me. Why do you think people leave Nigeria and go and die in Mediterranean Sea? Why do you think people leave Nigeria to go and die in Sahara Desert? Because you have put them through hell. So, they are living like dead bodies. So, the Jackson, don't think that you are stupid. Comment in that comment section is going to move people like me. I am not scared of you. If you want to tell me where we will meet outside Nigeria, where you use police and army to deceive yourself, we will meet outside Nigeria so that we will know who is who. It's not about using a fake account to come to comment section and be threatening me. You are a coward. A big coward. That's whom you are. You think you will capture everybody. Oh. You don't know what time is it. You don't know what time is it. If you knew, you will not come to comment section to talk rubbish. You will not. Idiot. So, it is very, very imperative for our people to know the truth because it is only the truth that will set them free. Only the truth that will set them free. You see them, they will, maybe it is even the Attorney General himself using a fake account to come and write rubbish in my comment section. All those money you people hide in your offshore account, one day you people are going to actually vomit it. All those money you have stolen from all these, your illegal activities in Nigeria, you people are going to pay for it. Do you think that coming to intimidate people will change things? No, it will not. It will aggravate things. Because you people are a bunch of, criminals. Making people to lose their lives in Mediterranean Sea. Do you think I am better than those people who are losing their lives in Mediterranean Sea? Do you think my life is so precious than theirs? It is not. So we have to actually speak to make sure that these people, they stop losing their lives in Mediterranean Sea. Because you believe you have secured the bag for your own family. You have secured the bag for your own family. That is the reason why you are doing what you are doing. And anybody that is actually supporting these people, that is looting the country to zero, all of you, are going to pay for it. The death of these people that are dying for the sake of what you are doing are going to come to hunt all of you. So, this is it. The man that is actually ordered the stay of execution on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, if he will come to actually explain himself as per reason why he ordered the stay of execution on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, I think he need to recuse himself first. He need to recuse himself. Because they were so scared that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was exposing every of their criminal activities in Nigeria. That is what scared them the most, and that is the reason why they decided to go out there, out of their way, to kidnap him, torture him, and extraordinary rendition him to Nigeria. Believing that it is going to, just go down well with them. No. Evil that men do will always do well with them. All of you, gangs of reprobates, you people are going to pay for all the crimes that you are committing in Nigeria. You people are going to pay for all the lives you have killed in Nigeria. It is not about coming to the comment section. That makes you a coward. Make a video and show me whom you are. Then I will know that you are able and capable. So, of course, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be released in the next court appearance, because every case labeled against him by these people was done on their own self, it is actually it is born of their, personal vendetta against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is the reason why they are doing everything they are doing against him. And the United Nations is not saying anything. And Britain, of course, we know they are the ones who did the job. They are not saying anything. Because we know they are the ones who did the job. Because they want Nigeria to continue to remain one. Because one Nigeria helped them for the economic exploitation on Nigeria. So that is the reason why Britain will not look for their citizen. One Nigeria. Because anybody in Nigeria preaching one Nigeria, even when you know that Nigeria is not one, Nigeria is only one to continue to promote the economic exploitation and sabotage, and making people 1,300 to die within the course of a year in Mediterranean Sea in the quest to go and seek for greener pasture abroad. You believe that, when we say the disintegration of that zoo called Nigeria is a task that must be done. We know that Britain is doing everything possible for them not to disintegrate Nigeria. But disintegration of Nigeria will be done. It's either by peace or in pieces. Because men have died. More than 3.5 million women and children died for the sake of that quest. And we must fulfill that quest. We must make them proud. They did not die for nothing. They died for something. So tell our Attorney General or whoever that he is using to write rubbish that Rojada Atuafo Buluzo. We are not scared, and we showed you ourselves. We don't speak from the both sides of our mouth. We speak it the way it is. You get hurt, it means you are a criminal. So, we are going to leave this one here, and we are going to the death of the Niger Republic soldiers on the border of, is it Burkina Faso or Mali? on the border of Mali and or Burkina Faso. Let us find out where this ambushing took place. Where did this ambush took place? Even though so many news reported different numbers of the soldiers that was killed, but let us actually see it from Al Jazeera. The report coming from Al Jazeera. Then we are going to also bring you, something that is very, very ironic. Where ECOWAS condemned the killing on the troops, which they have actually mapped out for extermination. Remember, ECOWAS said that they are going to do a military response. That's what ECOWAS said. They will do a military response. Now, it says more than a dozen Niger soldiers killed in an attack near Mali border. Near Mali border. The Nigerian Defense Ministry says another 20 soldiers were wounded in the attack. Another 20 soldiers were wounded in the attack. At least 17 Niger soldiers have been killed in an attack by armed groups near the border with Mali. The country's Ministry of Defense said, according to a statement released late on Thursday, a detachment of the Nigerian armed forces moving between Boni and Toridi was victim of the terrorist ambush near the town of Katogo, 52 kilometers southwest of Torodi. It added that another 20 soldiers had been injured, with all of them evacuated to Niamey, the capital. More than 100 assailants were neutralized during their retreat, the army said. In the last decade, the border area where central Mali, northern Burkina Faso, and western Niger converge has become the epicenter of violence by armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS in the Sahel region. Wow. When I am reading this, I want you to remember that every terrorism that is actually found within the ECOWAS region was deliberately created to be there. There are some terrorism that was created by these economic exploiters, such as French countries, so that they will place them in the places where they are, in the strategic places where they are going to be using to steal the resources in those areas. So that is the reason why you find this targeted on Niger soldiers, because they know it is a way to make sure that they bring cold feet on the Niger soldiers by killing some of their forces and injuring some of them. But one thing is for sure, those people they call terrorists, we know that they did not grow from the ground. Niger people, if they are called Muslim, 99.2% of Nigerians are Muslims. So I don't know if you're telling me that the terrorist is attacking Niger, Al-Qaeda and ISIS in West Africa. It is quite ironic. It's quite ironic. Because these people, most of them are ISIS is Islamic State. So why would they be attacking the people who are also Islam? So there is something behind it. There is something about these things that need to be solved. And all these things it is actually to weaken them, not to stand on their feet. Because the military intervention that ECOWAS actually planned is not consistent anymore. I know there is a meeting that is going to take place in Ghana today. A meeting that is taking place in Ghana, if not tonight, on the military intervention on Niger Republic, or how they are going to re-strategize on the issue of Niger Republic. So, in this regard, you find out that it is actually very surprising for ECOWAS to come out to condemn the killings on these militaries. The killings on this military. It is very, very surprising to see the killings on these militaries. Let me see. Let me read that one for you before we proceed. ECOWAS condemned the killing. Are they condemning the killing? Why are they condemning the killing? When they want to do military intervention. Military intervention will lead to the death of so many Niger soldiers, Nigerians. So why are they compelled? Now read from, this is from Vanguard. ECOWAS condemns killing of soldiers in Niger Republic. Nigeria working within ECOWAS framework. Within ECOWAS framework, condemn framework, not fighting Niger. Okay. Nigeria working within ECOWAS framework, not fighting Niger. DG NIA. The Economic Community of West Africa State, ECOWAS, has condemned the killings of 17 Nigeria soldiers by armed group believed to be jihadists. This came as the United Nations yesterday warned that ongoing crisis in Niger could significantly worsen food insecurity in the impoverished country, urging humanitarian exemptions to sanctions and border closures to avert catastrophe. As U.S. ambassador yesterday headed for Niger despite the coup. Wow. U.S. ambassador headed for Niger despite the coup. Okay. This is even as the Northern Elders Forum has asked President Bola Tinubu to remove economic sanctions imposed on Niger Republic in the wake of the coup in neighboring nations. Yes, this is the reason why I am saying, how can ECOWAS condemn the killing on Niger Republic when they have actually mapped out Nigerians for extermination? Hunger, to exterminate them through hunger and starvation. Yet they are, it looks like they are suspect, if I may say. It looks, in saying this type of thing, after sanctioning them, switching off their light, and they come back to tell you that they condemn the killing. It is actually like, I will see it as a, double standard. Will I say double standard? Is it the correct terminology? Or will I say, people that are, like chameleon? Are they systematically engaging in the war? Are they using crocodile engagement? So what exactly is going on? You have condemned these people to starve to death by closing border against them, placing an embargo against them. Why then are you condemning the killing of the 17 militaries personnel. What does it mean? It doesn't make sense. It is not consistent. I don't need to be, a professional in the field of investigation to know that there is something fishy about this. This is actually, will I say, it is a fake sympathy. It is a fake sympathy. Let's continue. This came as the United Nations yesterday warned that ongoing crisis in Niger could significantly worsen food insecurity in the impoverished country, urging humanitarian exemption to sanction and borders closure to avert catastrophe, as U.S. ambassador yesterday headed for Niger, despite the coup. This is even as the Northern Elders Forum, NEF, has asked President Bola Tinubu to remove economic sanctions imposed on Niger Republic in the wake of the coup in the neighboring country. NEF's position came as the Director General, Nigeria Institute of International Affairs, NIA, Professor Ehosa Osage, clarified yesterday that Nigeria was merely working within the Economic Community of the West African State (ECOWAS) framework and not fighting Niger Republic. But Nigeria is the chair of the ECOWAS, and the call was, theirs to make. So they make the call of closure of borders against them. They made the call of switching off electricity against them. They made the call that they are going to use military intervention. So it doesn't make sense when they come back to say they are condemning the killing against this military. It doesn't make sense. Tuesday, in an attack by suspected jihadists near the country's western border with Mali, the defense ministry said an army detachment was the victim of terrorist ambush near the town of Katogo, said the ministry in the statement late Tuesday. So, this is it. There is so many things that is happening in Africa that is, how can some people from other, geopolitical location come to your own continent, cause you people to start hating on one another, cause you people to start fighting on one another, cause you people to start, exploiting each other? Does it make sense? It does not make sense. That is the reason why we are calling on African people to wake up from their slumber. Wake up from your slumber, because what you are doing is leaving your fingerprint in the scene of a white man crime. That's what you are doing. If you build a great Africa today, you are building it for yourself. If you build a great Africa today, you are building it for yourself. So many people does not know that how you make your bed so you lie on it has a very deep meaning. If you prepare yourself, your world of today, you will die and come back. You will enjoy the fruit of your preparation. Do you know the reason why a true African person, they will always want to have children? They will always want to have children because they know it is these children that will bring them back to earth. That's why they will say you must make the name to live on. The name to live on. It is all about as a patriarchal society that West Africa is, you will say that no, if you do not have heir, if you don't have heir to your throne or to carry on the name of the family, it is a problematic. Because these are the people who are going to bring you back to earth. If you do, there are, in this millennium age, you find women who say they don't want to have children. You find men who say they don't want to have children because they don't want to have responsibility of having children. You have closed your lineage. When you die, you will see darkness until thy kingdom come. You will be in the dark until thy kingdom come. That is the reason why it is said that everything, the firewood you fetch during the rainy season is the one you are going to use during the dry season, during drought. The money you saved during the time you have surplus is what you are going to make use of during the drought season when you don't have. It has a deep meaning. How you prepare your world is how you are going to come back to it. So many of you are going to let us actually grab the bag for the family. You keep grabbing the bag. You come back, you will find the world that you found within your reach full of criminality, that you'll be traumatized of the criminality, just like it is going on across Africa, just like it is going on across Nigeria, because you made it so. That is the reason why, even if you read in the Bible, it says that the sins of your fathers, he will visit you with it, even to the third and fourth generation, because after fourth generation, a new life is born. A new life is born. Because you will keep on coming back to reap from the fruit that you have sowed. After fourth generation, it resets. Now God will give you another chance and rebuild you. That is the reason why God has given us another chance. That's why we are consciously, preaching this gospel, preparing our people. Because the time of emancipation is now. It's coming. The world is going to go back to the status quo. The world is going to go back to what it was before it is destroyed and before it was handed over to the wicked. That is the reason why you will find things that are old things. They will come to become something new today. They will come to become an asset today. The world is about to reset. This is the world of the wicked that we have lived for more than 400 years. So now we are going to actually pave our ways. So many of us might die paving it. You shouldn't be scared dying paving it, because as long as you have paved that way in a way that you are going to come back to it and you find it paved. That is the most important thing. Those who killed you while you are fighting to pave that way, they will no longer be there to kill you again. You will enjoy the fruit of thy labor. That is the reason why it is, I believe that Europeans or white people, they understand that this reincarnation is real. That is the reason why they will build one thing that will sustain them for more than 400 years. Did you see the gold? Look at the gold that France have in their reserve. Did you see the block of gold? The bank of gold that the French have in their reserve. This gold you see, it will sustain them, and they are actually trying to, have a reserve that will help them in the next 400 years, because they are not only thinking about now, and that is the reason why they are always 1,000 steps ahead of Africa. They are exploiting it. But the reason why they are doing all they can to exploit it, they know that change is the only thing constant. But having known that change is constant, their ignorance and their wickedness will not allow them to know that it is time for change. Because they are very, very ignorant and wicked. They will not know that the place where they are stealing these things is gotten saturated. That the people where they are exploiting all these things from, they are saturated. It is time for revolution. And a revolution must happen for a new era to begin. If a revolution does not happen, a new era will never begin. Those of you who believe that Africa will just wake up one morning and there will be a change, no, many people are still going to die. But one thing important that you need to know, that don't be scared of that death. Because it is a death that will elevate you. That's why it is not about what you live for. It is about what you died for. Because what you died for is what is you are going to achieve in your next life. That is the way it is. If you understand this, you will not be scared to be bold, to throw the transgression of the world in their faces. You will not be scared to be bold, regardless of any circumstances, against all odds. You will continue to show the people their transgression. If they want to eliminate you for showing them their transgression, let them do so, because they have done you a favor. Will lift. When you kick a toad, you are giving a lift to that toad. That is exactly what it means. In this regard, you believe that people like all these activists that was killed because the white man was so scared that these activists are actually using the method that the black people will digest so quickly. That is speech, not writing it in a book for them to read. When you are writing a book, mostly you are writing it for white people. When you are writing a book, maybe not now anymore, because it takes time to adjust. We have actually come to realization that we must read the terms and conditions. That is the reason why most of the time, if you buy insurance, you don't read the terms and conditions. When it's time to claim, they will read it for you. You find out that they have robbed you. Because you did not read the terms and conditions. They tell you sign, you sign. Or when you are actually signing any contract, you didn't read the terms and conditions because you don't derive joy in reading. You prefer somebody reading it for you and you are saying okay. So they saw that a black man, the weakness of a black man lies in their inability to read what is written in a book. That's why they translated Bible and made it a book. And they sent missionaries to come and water their ground by teaching you Bible upside down. And the same way the pastors, they took it from that missionaries' point of view. They continue to teach you Bible upside down, which is the reason why, part of the reason why you are mentally enslaved today. Because the things you're supposed to read, in order to get wisdom out of it, to get informed, you cannot. That's why they killed Jesus. Because Jesus was preaching the Bible. He was telling you the truth. That's why they killed Thomas Sankara, because he was speaking the truth. They killed so many of them who were speaking, who were not writing a book. They were speaking their book. They were reading their book. It is coming directly from the inner self. That's why they have to kill them. Because when I am reading my book for you, you pick it up more and understand it better. But when I give you to go and read, you will not be able to contextualize it. So that is the challenges that they have actually, that a black man have. I don't know about now, because this new millennium, these children of this nowadays, maybe they are deriving joy from reading. Reading is very, very important. Read it before you put your signature. It is very, very important. This is what these colonialists did with those who negotiated our independence. They could not read. They tell them sign here, sign here, sign here. They were signing. They are white people, they can never be wrong. They are Europeans, they are good people. They are not, dubious. You don't know that the worst dubious character you will see is systematic dubious character. Systematic criminal is the worst of them you will see. At least the one that is stealing physically, you will know how to stop them. But the one that is systematic, they are like it is actually like you have a relationship with them. What type of relationship? That's when symbiotic comes in. When you have a symbiotic relationship with, that is exactly what we share with these people. They are exploiting us. That's where you see, parasitism? Parasite. They feed on you. The pain might not be physical, But the damage it does in a long run, it is very, very brutal. So that is what we call systematic torture, systematic exploitation. Sign here, sign here, sign here. You don't know you have signed your life of your 400 years away to these people because you don't derive joy in reading. They took advantage of that. It is very, very important that our people need to know. Our African leaders, wake up before the people wake up. Because if the people wake up before you, it is going to be disastrous. Save that energy and save lives. Wake up before the people wakes up. So that people will back you up. Because if you are waiting to be the tool and I speak, you come and threaten me, you will kill me in the comment section. If you kill me, another person will wake up. And when you kill me, people will now pay attention to my message to understand that my message has some element of, truth in it. So people pay more attention. Maybe my message now will wake up like 1,000 people. And 1,000 people will wake up 5,000 people. By the time you know it, it will spread like a wildfire. Because the way I feel right now, I don't even care about you and you threaten your threat. Because I do not want the life that I found myself into. I don't want that shadow to come to my children. That I have to run away from where I come from. And then, you will take years to see your parents, to see your family members. I don't want such thing. There is no European who will come to Africa that will not be going back and forth. Because they are coming they have money. They are coming to see things, nice things that nice business they are going to. Good businesses they are going to invest and make more money. But we are going to go and hustle, go and give cheap labor. Because sometimes we do not have even papers. They will utilize the opportunity to give us cheap labor, exploit us. We will be doing these things, suffering and smiling. Do you think it is a good life? It is never a good life. That is the reason why we are fighting to make sure we actually pave way for our children not to find themselves in this systematic slavery that we have actually, we have passed through. If you don't correct this era of people crossing Mediterranean Sea just to go to your exploiters in the search of greener pasture, to sell themselves for cheap labor in the quest for greener pasture, if you don't solve this conundrum now, it will pass through to your children. Don't think that you have secured the bag for your immediate family. Maybe you will give birth to a child that is actually, that is disastrous, extravagantly disastrous. That child will destroy everything. They will go into drug. And by the time you know it, everything is sold out. He even will live on the street. So what then? Why can't you create an atmosphere where everybody is actually equal, where everybody is actually getting the fair share of the national cake, where everybody will be included in the economy, where everybody will be treated the same in the eyes of the law? Why can't we have such atmosphere in our lifetime? Why do we need to continuously demand for these things to happen when it is the things that is rightfully our right? Why do you think, there is no black man that is living? We are all surviving. But so many of us believe that we have it all. Maybe you can afford the ride that you want to drive. I can afford the ride that I want to drive. I can afford anything that I want. But that is not actually where it ends. If I can afford it, the next black man next to me is a beggar. The next black man next to me, he need a job. I don't have enough job to give him some. So what then? If we begin to think about the next black man next to us, if we begin to see ourselves inside another black man, that is the beginning of the wisdom of Africa. We will not be allowed, we will not allow ourselves to be used as a tool to destroy the life of another black people. Just because you are paid money, just because he is speaking the truth and the truth is the only thing you don't like, just because he is doing well, better than you, just because you envy them, just because you want to arrive, you want money, you want to afford anything that, of course, so many of these people who will collect money to sell their own people, they want money. All they want money is to do things that are irrelevant. You look for, maybe you carry women, you go on holiday, you buy supercar. They will never use such money to do something reasonable or to empower the society. Don't forget, the fact that you have money, going and sharing money on the street is not empowering society. What is called empowerment to the society you found yourself into? It is creating a job opportunity. Because if you give them today, you don't give them tomorrow. It doesn't make sense. If you give me accommodation today, because you found me as a hobo, or you found me as a vagabond, you give me accommodation today, you don't give me tomorrow. You haven't helped me. You did not. It is how we are going to solve our problem permanently. Problem of unemployment. Problem of deindustrialization that was done on our land so that we will be dependent on the big world, European and every other nation, in order to survive. You call yourself a businessman. You are an errand boy to the manufacturer. Why can't you, real business people, real entrepreneurs, they are the manufacturers of their product. So as long as you are dependent on a manufacturer to manufacture, so that you go and import 40 feet, import their inflation with, you are an errand boy to the manufacturer. Because you do the hard job while they gain the profit. Today there is artificial intelligence that is taking away the manpower. So they will just set up artificial intelligence to do the manufacturing. You don't have money to afford that. You import, you offload, you start marketing. From marketing, you start selling. From, you will start calculating losses, stress upon stress. Why can't we reindustrialize Africa? Why are we allowing our resources to be sold as a raw material? And they will refine this raw material, finish a product, and they import it with their inflation. Then your inflation is going high. Why can't we actually introduce a new ways of dealing with this big world? We are not anti-West. We are not anti-Western countries. We want to be on equal yoke with the West in terms of business negotiation, in terms of economic growth or economic upliftment. We want to be able to negotiate a business that will be in favor of our people, not a business that will be in favor of the president and their white counterpart. No. If we can achieve such things, we will go far. And that is the reason why, if you come to our side, we say that we want to break free from the shackle called Nigeria. Because the shackle called Nigeria is the limitation to every man who is conscious about what's going on in Nigeria. It is actually a stumbling block to every human being that is found themselves in that region. That's that Nigeria and the structure, it is called a stumbling block. It is a yoke. It is like a yoke of iron on the neck of everybody that is domiciled there. Those who found themselves in the political space, they believe that they are better. They believe that they are free from this yoke. Because they don't see the bit, they cannot see the bigger picture. If we can, disintegrate Nigeria, which is created by Britain, and bring our own innovation and initiative, call on our people who were sold for slavery, and we reunite with them. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told us that Biafra will bring our people from across the nations of the earth where they are domiciled, our people from the Caribbean, our people from South America. They will gather, and because Biafra is like a light and a beacon. And I am going to show you the evidence to it. Let me show you a video evidence to it. Our people from the Caribbeans and our people, they are tracing back their origin, their root to Eri Kingdom, the oldest kingdom that is on earth. They are tracing back their origin. And if we are free, we create security that we will bring our good, we will bring people which, people with talent that, that we are sold out, that we are actually, exported to go and use this talent to help other nations. We will bring them back to help us to build our new nation. It is something that, it is a tax that must be done. Our people that are out there, we must do something that will bring them back to unify with us. Because we must be complete for something to happen. All these our people in the North America, we must bring them back. They must find a home. We must give them a land. We must unify them with the land of Africa. That is the greatness of Africa. Because they have a lot to offer. A whole lot they have to offer. But how is it going to come? It is building a fair ground where they are going to come. Where they are going to actually, feel safe, and we will welcome them. We will call them our own. We will call them our own. They will call us their people. We will call them our people. They will call us their people. And we unify with them. And we make peace with the gods of the land. Because those who sold those people to slavery, it is part of the reason why we are suffering. If we cannot bring them home and reunify them with their ancestral origin, we are going nowhere. That is what our people have started. Biafra is like a beacon of light. People will follow it. This is a kingdom where our people from Jamaica decided to trace back their ancestral origin. Of course, people are doing DNA tests. When people come and tell you that Rihanna is of Igbo origin, people believe it is a fallacy. It is not a fallacy. People are doing DNA tests, and people are actually confirming where they come from. Listen to this video.
journey started about 12 years ago, where I've always wanted to be able to trace my ancestry back to a country, back to a people. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to be connected to you. To call you cousin, and I look forward to visiting Nigeria and Igbo land someday.
I feel like my journey is almost complete, and it won't be complete until I get back.
This is the process of initiating them back to the land, reintegrating them.
Try as much as possible to be very good towards that person. That person would have killed you if not because of God. So do not look at that person. Look up to God at all times.
Unification process.
It is the person who is alive that is going to benefit from the things of life. And Majesty is praying that God is going to beautify your life with long life and prosperity from today going forward.
The son of the soil. They have given him the son of the soil. You know, that is how we roll. Welcoming unification of our people who were taken away from us. It is part of the agitation. And we are going to actually achieve all that for something, for a miracle to take place. That is the reason why when I see some, okay, sorry. I think I'm still sharing. When I see some people who are actually claiming that they are fighting for freedom, telling you that the mind emancipation, the teaching and the awareness is no longer time for them, that it is time for them to give you Biafra. And you go ahead, you see them coming into your comment section, trying to demoralize you because you are teaching something they do not have. You are actually, lending to people the wisdom they do not have. They will come with all sort of attack because they envy what you are teaching. Envying me, Simon, or what you are writing in the comment section, it is not going to make you go anywhere. You can never be me. You can never be me. That is one thing. You can never be Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You can only be Simon. You can only be a criminal that you are and a terrorist. That's the only thing you can be. Education that we are giving to our people is the most important, thing that we need to do right now. Educate our people and get them ready for freedom. Because we are helping them to unlearn what they have been learning over the years. Seeing black as evil, seeing white as God. We are going to help them to unlearn. Because the plan to make God white and make devil black, it is something that was, instilled in our people to help to make them to hate themselves. It is not to have confidence on themselves. So when they see their fellow black people, they see them as enemy. That is the primary plan of of why they decided to paint Jesus as a white person. When the blood of Jesus run in my vein, because I'm a tribe of Judah, according to the book of Genesis 46:16. So, how come he become white today? Genesis 46:16. There is a video I played now. It said Eri. You will find that name in the book of Genesis 46:16. It is the seventh son of Jacob, descendant. The descendant of the seventh son of Jacob. So all of a sudden, Jesus, who is a tribe of Judah, become a white guy today. And pastors are promoting it. A white Jesus. And some of us will say, no, the color does not matter. If the color does not matter, why do they have to lie? Why do they have to paint it? Because they want to demonize you. And they want to make themselves so angelic. That's why you have to entrust them with everything, believing that they don't lie, believing that they don't do sin, they don't do something wrong. You are the epicenter of the wrong things. And that's why you see yourself as an epicenter of the wrong things. You continue to do wrong things. You continue to demonize yourself. You continue to dance to that projection they have projected for you. That's why you hate yourself so much. That's why when you see criminals, you are attracted to criminals. You praise criminals. You praise people who exploit you. But when you see people who love you, you hate them. That is actually the damages they have caused on our people. When you see people who exploit you, who are very, mean to you, you find a way to befriend them. You find you are looking for, you actually envy them. But when you see people who love you unconditionally, you make them your enemy. It is part of that mind emancipation that we must continue to educate our people on. Anybody who will wake up to tell you, no, it is no longer time for a broadcast, laugh at that person. He has nothing to offer. Biafra is not something that you wake up tomorrow and someone give it to you. There is a process. Unification of our people is part of it. If our people cannot be complete, Biafra will not come. That is it. That beacon of light called Biafra. If our people, if this process you see in the video, if such processes you don't, when you start seeing that process more often, you should know that Biafra is very close to come. Because our people, the land was desecrated. The land was desecrated by some set of people like the Eberima in Finland, who their generation saw the struggle, whom their generation saw our people for profit making. This is the desecration of the land, and the reparation of the land need to be done. And how do we repair the land? Love our people and removing those moles that is leading our people to their untimely death. That is one thing you need to understand. So, the mind emancipation teaching continues. We are not going back. The only time we will go back is when we close our eyes. The only time we are going to stop is when we close our eyes. Because we know what freedom is. We know what freedom looks like. When you see all these, Europeans, the capitalists, all of them, when you want to go to holiday, you will not worry who will look after my business. Will my business be okay? You will be in the hotel room where you are doing holiday. You will be there. You will be looking on the wall. Are you sure my business is doing well? Are you sure everything is okay? You will not even enjoy your holiday because you are under pressure. A slave does not have holiday. We are slaves. And that slavery is what we are going to destroy. that slavery is what we are going to actually, dismantle. Now I have remember who is the Jackson Kisame. He is an autopilot. The reason why he came while I was preaching against Malami and his criminality on Nigeria and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, it is because they don't want me to continue to preach, because they have seen the quality of what I have that their master criminal in Finland does not have it. That's why. Now I remember him. He came back again. Now I've pictured him. I have pictured him. I know him very well now. But I am going to trace that account. I am going to know who is behind it. It is Simon Ekpa. It is Simon Ekpa. But I am going to tell you, Simon, your end will be very, very bad. As long as you have risen up against your people systematically, just like you are living in the land of your masters, you learned how they manipulate our people, and you are walking in their footsteps to manipulate and send our people to their untimely death. Your end will not be good. That is what I am promising you. That is what I am promising you. This is the time of awakening. This is the time for freedom. So, all you moles that is among men, regardless of whom you are, whether you are my friend or whether you are my enemy, whether you are my family member or whether you are my foes, all you moles that is standing in against or standing in between us and our freedom, your end will not be good. That's something I am going to tell you. And that is something I am going to leave you with. Whether you are a president, whether you are a governor, whether you are a minister, whether you are a chieftain, whether you are a traditional ruler, no matter where you found yourself, in every position you found yourself, if you don't begin that change now, that change will destroy you if you cannot make it. It is time for change. Let us liberate African children from poverty. Let us elevate our people from poverty. Because our people have suffered enough. It is time for freedom. Don't forget, disintegration of Nigeria is the freedom of Africa. Restoration of Biafra is a task that must be done. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay informed. Bye for now.